Hey, this is Alex Warren, and this is the Hot 100 Show. We were playing at Coachella, and Ed is now a good friend of mine, but this was my first time meeting him.
Again, he goes, my life is so normal. He just said, we were playing at Coachella. Ed is now a friend of mine. Not a normal life, sir.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize that one.
Taking me out of the ordinary. I want you laying me down to a dead and buried.
Hey, it's Cat's Eye.
Hey, it's Tate McRae.
Hey, what's up? It's Serena Carpenter.
Girl, we did it, baby.
Hey, it's Megan Trainor. And this is the Hot 100 Show.
Hey, what's up, and welcome to the Hot 100 Show. I'm your host, Tetris Kelly, and we have a crazy show today. Alex Warren is here, and we got a live studio audience. But before we get into all the fun, let's run it down with your Hot 100 Top 10. This is the Billboard Hot 100 Top 10 for the week dated October 11. Down to 10 is Your Idol.
Have you seen any or heard any of the songs from KPop Demon Hunters?
I have not. I have a couple. I've heard people talk about it. I haven't heard anything from it. I haven't seen the show or anything like that.
I mean, listen, you're missing joy. Like, when you watch it, it's like they're eating things, they're fighting demons. There's demon boy bands.
I can get behind that. I'll try it out. I'll try it out.
Yeah, I'm all you need. I'ma be your idol.
Love Me Not is steady at 9.
He loves me not, he loves me, he holds me tight, then lets me go.
She's so dope, and like I knew the name, and I think I had like heard a couple songs, and then I went to go see her. She like blew me away. I feel like since then I've just been listening to her music a bunch. She's super talented, and I feel like she's like one of those artists that's like very like established right now, but has the potential to like pop into like a really, really big, massive artist.
Once I leave you, I'm stronger. If I get you, I'm slowly breaking down.
Morgan returns to the top 10 with I Got Better.
I got better since you got gone.
That was numbers 10 through 8. We're going to get to the rest of the chart, but before we do, I got a very special guest to bring out. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Warren.
This is intimidating.
No, it's just beautiful faces, people that love to listen to you.
It's terrifying. Thanks for having me. This is cool. When they said that I could do this, I was clawing at it. I would love to sit here and talk to you guys and sing in front of you, so thank you so much for having me.
Well, listen, we're happy to have you here. You're obviously so important to Billboard and our charts and everything that's happening right now. So I wanted to ask you, like, at any point in your life or career, was Billboard important to you? Like, at what point did you even start to pay attention to the charts?
All the time. I feel
We
like
love that answer.
I feel like it's every kid, and I'm not greasing you guys up here, but like growing up, and especially like I was fascinated with Ed Sheeran and Shawn Mendes, especially when he was rising after Vine, and so to be able to see people like that break through and see my song on the charts too is really, really sick.
I take one look at you, you're taking me out of the ordinary.
And I think that's what's so interesting about you is because you have this massive song here that people hear everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's so personal to you.
Yeah.
And your songwriting is so personal. So talk to me about what makes you a songwriter.
For me, it's strange because I don't know if anyone here knows anything about me, and if you do, I apologize for being repetitive, but my dad passed away when I was young, and my mom drank herself to death. And as a kid, I didn't understand that. And it was a musically surrounded family before he passed away, and when he did, we all stopped. And so it was something really difficult where I didn't understand. I was 9 years old. And when I was about 14, I watched my little sister go to a daddy-daughter dance without her dad. And I started to think about how my life was different from my friends and the people that I went to school with. And for me, I felt like there wasn't any songs, or at least songs that I felt like really touched on grief. Most of the time it was love songs or David Guetta just doing his thing.
That's a turn.
Right, but I remember like looking up the tabs on like a Ed Sheeran song, and you know he uses the basic 4 chords that everyone uses. It makes it really easy to kind of get into music, and I did not know how to play music, so I would look up tutorials, and I tried my best to learn music, and then from there I started coming up with words. But that's the thing, is like it came from a very honest place in where I was coming from, and so now when I make music, and especially I kind of I don't really think about anything except for what am I trying to say and what solution I'm trying to solve. And for me, a lot of times it's therapy of just getting over the loss of my parents and understanding that grief and finding my wife, which was ordinary.
But no, I do think it's important what you did. I also lost my mom at a young age, and
I'm sorry.
I do think that grief is something that is difficult to deal with. But I think oftentimes, I think about this, how it affected me personally sometimes, and how it changed the way I approach things professionally. So how do you think losing your parents at that pivotal age and in that way has changed the way you look at your career?
That's crazy. Wow. I'm a little different. I truly believe that my parents are looking down on me, which means that everything I do, I'm being judged by people who I can't have a conversation with. But I don't know. I think when Dad passed away, I asked everyone who knew him, because obviously I was 9, and once I started to realize I was about 15, and so I was like, hey, like, what was my dad like? I don't remember anything. I don't remember the way he smelled, the way he felt, the way his voice sounded, and to me, that was really difficult. It's almost trying to get to learn the most important person of your life without actually knowing them. And the one thing that everyone said, people who even didn't like him, I even went to people who stopped talking to my dad before he passed away. And the one thing everyone could say was that he was a good person. He could make friends in any room. He didn't have to be drunk to be a fun time. And he treated everyone with kindness. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've been able to kind of take to my music is, a lot of times, and I feel like people get put in this position and they all of a sudden think they're the shit. And they all of a sudden have this ego in some sorts. And for me, especially having my parents look down on me, I feel like there's a sense of I have to make them proud, but also on top of it, I can't ever take it for granted. What I have and the place that I'm at, and I never thought I'd have a hit song. So, but the fact that I have that, I want to make sure that, this is all temporary. Things are quick, and I want to make sure that at least I try my best to be a good person about it, but also appreciate it.
Well, you're definitely making them proud. And another person you're making proud, I'm sure, your wife. I mean, to have this song about you guys' relationship be something that is a part of now so many other relationships and people's wedding song, everything. So how was it to obviously meet your wife and get the inspiration for Ordinary specifically?
Life-changing. I was homeless. I was sleeping in my car. And my wife, she said, "F it," and started sleeping in the car with me at the time. And I have a lot of this to credit her for, actually, funny enough. And I think she knows that. I think I tell her that all the time. I'm also staring at her. I think it's really interesting. The relationship I have with my wife is obviously unique. I feel like anyone here who has a significant other would also say the same thing. It's really cool to be able to have my 2 biggest songs be about her, and she does not let me forget it.
And I love that you guys were together from such a part of that journey. At what point in that journey did you really feel like, even as a couple, that things were changing, like, for the better, to go from homeless to, topping the Hot 100?
I don't think anything ever changed. That's the coolest part about it. When I first met my wife, we were long distance. It's the most beautiful romantic story that you guys will ever hear. We met on Snapchat. No, but the minute we started talking, it's cool, and I feel like it's not a unique thing, but it feels unique to me. Is the minute we started talking, it felt like I knew her, like, forever. It was like almost like you FaceTime for the first time, and you're like, this isn't weird. I don't have to do small talk. There's no icebreaker. All of a sudden, you're asking me things that I feel like, friends that I've known forever are asking me the same questions. When we were sleeping in my car, it was truthfully one of the funnest times of my life, and it's because there was nowhere else to go but up in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, In-N-Out wasn't going to taste any better. That was the only, like, to me, every time we got a small win, it was the biggest thing in the world. And especially now, because we've lived in that certain situation, and now, as things have done really well, we just appreciate more, but also on top of it, this hasn't changed. It's been the same since the start, and that's also the cool constant, because I don't know if you guys have ever been on a bus or toured or done any of those things, and I know we're in a music industry room right now, so there is probably some people who have done it or have been around people who have, but there's so many constant changing things, and whether a musician's going to turn to this or to that to kind of find some stability, it's been really nice as she travels the world with me. It's like we're still in that car, and it's really, really fun.
Love chatting with you so much, my man. We're going to do some more talking, but we do have to get back to the chart. So let's toss it to number 7 through 4. Soda Pop falls to number 7.
You're my soda pop, my little soda pop.
Lose Control is up again to 6.
Teddy Swims has hit the Billboard Hot 100 with Lose Control. What do you like about Teddy Swims?
The mood, the attitude. Good situation. I like it.
You like his songs?
Yeah, songs, the lifestyle, you know. Good.
You like the lifestyle he be living?
Yes.
Daisy's Hops to 5.
He's just a classic artist.
In what way?
When I think of my childhood, I think about songs like Baby.
Honestly, that's so funny because I keep thinking like Bieber's been around for so long that we've actually watched him grow up from like a child to like a 30-year-old grown man.
I think the song's great. I had heard the song before I listened to the rest of the album, but my boy had the album on in the car the other day, and honestly, I was really surprised. Obviously, love the Biebs, but haven't always listened to a ton of his music, but I think the new album's great.
Morgan and Tate together are at number 4. We'll get back to more of the chart in just a little bit, but I do have some more questions to ask you. The song, Ordinary, that we're discussing here, I just want to run up a couple of accomplishments it's had.
Please.
The top-selling song of 2025, 10 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, just recently became 15 weeks at number 1 on pop radio, and it was also Billboard's Song of the Summer. And that's just a few of Ordinary's accomplishments. I mean, give it up.
Thank you. It's weird because as you say those things, I think you're talking about someone else's song. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just because we've been, ever since the song came out in February, we've been on the road. We moved and our house is still in boxes, which is really fun. But we've been gone. And so I think as these things keep happening and stuff like that, I get 3 weeks off after this, after these next 2 weeks. And that's going to be a moment where I think I'm going to bawl like an absolute, just lay down on the ground and just, I'm not kidding, I'm one of the most emotional people in the world. But for some reason, it hasn't hit me yet that this is me. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think that's something that's very interesting, probably for them to hear, definitely for me to hear, because, like, for instance, me, every week I'm saying your name, like, if Alex Warren at number 1 or at number 2, or I love doing it. But it's just like, for me, I think it's such a moment. So for you to like kind of be living through it, do you like check the charts every week? Do you check radio airplay, or you're just going through life?
I'm going through life. It stresses me out. I also know that like what goes up goes down, and I think that there's a, I think just for me, like I've worked my entire life for this, you know, and I've especially the last like year. I started professionally putting out music in 21, 4 years ago. I've just been doing this for a long time, and this is obviously everyone dreams of this moment, you know, and so I never thought I'd have one, and the fact that one happened, I wish life could stay exactly here. You know, it could go down a little bit too. I'm fine with that. But I love touring the world. I love, doing things like this and playing my songs, and it's just been what the thing I've kind of taken from it was.
And then you talk about playing your songs. I think that would be interesting to me because you're dealing with grief. You're talking about your wife, all these personal things that is in your music.
Yeah.
When you then have to turn around and play the AMAs, the VMAs, these massive shows, how is it to do music that's so personal for you in like such a large environment?
I think it's terrifying, and it's only terrifying because I still get nervous. You know what I'm saying? Like even for things like this, I get nervous. But on top of it, I think because these aren't pitch records, because these aren't songs where someone's like, "Hey, I wrote you this record, you should sing it," and they're not fake. They're like very, very much like I'm singing a song about meeting my wife or singing a song about losing my parents, and I'm putting that music out to be judged, but I'm also performing that music for that to be judged as well. And I think that's difficult, coming from a place where this isn't normal for me, and now it is becoming normal. So it's just something I have to get used to for sure. It's terrifying to play in front of a bunch of celebrities. That's always the hardest thing, because like if you play a show and you're a little bit off, no one's gonna go, he was 3 cents flat. If you play in in front of a bunch of musicians, they're gonna be like, interesting arrangement.
Well, I feel
or
like
Charlie Puth's gonna be like, that wasn't a C sharp.
Well, Charlie Puth is gonna call anybody out. Who's the person that's made you most nervous to perform in front of?
Ed Sheeran. Ed he goes, oh my God. We were playing at Coachella, and Ed is now a good friend of mine, but this was my first time meeting him.
Again, he goes, my life is so normal. He just said, we were playing at Coachella. Ed is now a friend of mine. Not a normal life, sir.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize that one.
We're realizing it together.
Yeah. Ed is what a sweet human, by the way. But he started learning Ordinary in front of me, and he's like asking me all these questions. And I was like, motherfucker, he's good. He starts singing it, and he's like, and then how would you sing this part? And I'm like, oh, let me try real quick. And this dude like doesn't do anything. Like he literally, he's drinking a beer. They go, hey, it's time to go. And then he goes. He throws a guitar on him. They put ears on him, and he just walks out on stage. There's no, I couldn't even breathe. I was having a panic attack for him. And he goes out, plays the show, walks back, has a beer, and then goes, you want to sing some more? Sure. That's someone who I very much look up to, where my entire life I was told I fucking suck. And we're both of the strawberry blonde descendants. And no, but truly, it's someone to me where it's like you put in your entire life to work at this. And I, in my opinion, haven't worked as hard as you. And I've tried, I know I'm trying my best to put in those 10,000 hours. And that's something I'm always scared of, is the imposter syndrome aspect of it. And again, yeah, that's just to give you a really long answer to that question, Ed Sheeran.
And I mean, it has to feel somewhat cool to get the embrace and the support of an Ed Sheeran. Yeah. Also, a Luke Combs, which was amazing.
Oh yeah, he Kelly Clarkson. That dude.
Wait, Kelly hasn't done Ordinary yet, has she?
Not yet.
Okay, we gotta wait on that moment.
Just know that when she does, I'm going silent for a day.
But to have the support of other people in the industry, like Luke, like Ed, what has that been like?
Dude, it's cool. It's so cool. I mean, to me, it's like, I don't know if you guys have ever had this moment where if any of you were bullied in high school, you all look like you weren't. But for me, like, you know, it's cool that like I played Stagecoach and I played Lollapalooza with Luke. I knew that I had a lot of people who bullied me in high school in the audience, and then they tagged me in the post later that day. And that was to me something really, really cool. Where like, that's sick. That 16-year-old me that was getting kicked out of parties, like that's cool that person who called me a lot of bad words and kicked my ass is now posting me on their story. And I think that's really cool.
Well, now I have to ask you, have you ever been petty yet? Like,
no.
Not a one petty moment?
No.
You haven't flexed on one human?
No. I'm not that type of person, though.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. I'm more of those I stalk your Facebook. I do that. I'm so sorry.
There's somebody in high school right now been like, oh no, I called him a name. I posted him on my story. He's talking about me.
No, I just stalk their Facebook. I'm so scared of what is it called when you confrontation? Terrified of confrontation. I am the biggest. I fold immediately. This is now getting really personal. I apologize.
Listen, it's a good conversation.
Yeah.
I do want to talk to you a little bit about like the segmenting of music right now.
Yeah.
So like with a song as big as Ordinary, what I tend to see on the charts is like a song as like Golden be big, and there'll be people that are like, I've never seen K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
Or I've never heard Ordinary. Or I've never heard the Tate McRae and Morgan Wallen song.
Yeah.
And these are the biggest songs on the chart. So how do you feel about the segmenting of fans right now in different genres?
Oh, it makes total sense. I think because of TikTok and all these different algorithms, it's all AI based. It's designed to show you things you don't want to see or you might not have interest in. I think people definitely, when they say I've never heard of that, have obviously heard of the song in different ways in passing, but they've never spent the time to go look at it. And I think that's normal. Like, there's plenty of artists where people have said, like, you know, oh, like, I've never heard of this person. This is my favorite artist. And I go, who is that? You know, and someone's like, oh, well, like, I've never heard of Alex and this person's breaking out. And I'm like, I've never heard of that person either. And I want to go learn about that person. So I do think there's a negative context to it where it's like, oh, wow, I've never heard of that person. What the hell? And why is this in front of me? Opposed to being like, oh, this is cool. I want to go discover that. But I just think that's just the way the internet is right now. And it's promoting that type of stuff. But yeah, I think it's very normal, especially now more than ever, as people are starting to realize that there is a bubble outside of their own interests. And a lot of people are starting to go, wait, what I see isn't what other people see. Like, I've had a bunch of colorblind people walk around every single day thinking what they see is exactly what you see, and all of a sudden they find out that their purple is not your purple. And I feel like that's exactly the perfect description of what social media is right now and how it's influenced the charts, but also music is everyone goes in tunnel vision on what they believe is what everyone else sees and what they believe is popular. And then all of a sudden you see shows and ticket sales and radio and streams, and all of a sudden you realize is, oh my God, there's other worlds outside of mine. Whether or not you want to discover that is now the next part of that arrangement. You
I
know?
feel like we're all in our little bubbles, and algorithms obviously control what goes into your bubble. But you being such a busy guy, now I'm curious. So I want to know, have you seen K-Pop Demon Hunters?
Yes. We watched it. I was late to the party. I probably watched it when it was 4 weeks at #1.
Listen, we'll get back to that point in just a little bit, but it's time for some more chart. And since you weren't there from 10 to 4, I think we know who's going to be here. Here's the top 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. Tate McRae debuts Tit for Tat at number 3.
At number 2, it's Alex Warren's Ordinary.
So we got Alex Warren. He came in at number 2 with Ordinary.
Yep.
Tell me, how you feel about it? You vibing with him?
He's been great. He's got a great voice. Me and my girlfriend love him. We saw him on, I think it was Love is Blind, and we saw him perform that. It was great. He's been up there for a while, right? He was number 1 for a long time, I think. He's got such an amazing voice.
The ordinary, how are you laying me down to a dead and bed?
Now, this is my thing. You said you heard it with your girl. Now, when you listen to it, is she looking at you like, hey, this is going to be our wedding song right now, so you better learn these lyrics ASAP?
I hope so. We've talked about the couple, Alex and his girlfriend, before, and the music video and everything. And it was really cool, and it was cool just to watch them do it. It's obviously the song's about her, which makes let him have that. So
Okay.
I got things for my girl too, but we'll let him have his song.
Okay, all right.
Angels up in the clouds are jealous knowing we found.
And glowing with an 8th week at number 1 is Golden.
I cannot help you, idiots, but they can.
I liked it a lot, actually. I think that I like movies that depict what it's like to do this. And I think that was a cool spin on it, where it's like all of a sudden they're superheroes and they're fighting demons, which I was very into.
And then with your fans, the connection you have with them, how has that been to go and put this music out that's very personal to you, and then have people come up to you, I'm sure, telling stories, connecting with you through that way? What's your relationship with them like?
Oh, it's beautiful. I think that there's some people who can handle it and some people who can't. But I've signed more Ziploc bags of parents' ashes than I've signed arms.
What? Okay.
Yeah, and urns. I sign a lot of those.
Really? Someone's brought an urn?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you have to think, I've posted TikToks of myself unboxing my parents.
She's in a Ziploc bag.
I think that there's when it comes down to loss and also grief, a lot of people choose not to talk about it. A lot of people choose to kind of bottle it up. And I once heard this, and I forget where I heard it, but now I say it all the time, is people die twice. They die when they die, and they die when you stop talking about them. Whether it's jokes, whether it's loving memoirs, whether it's songs, keeping someone alive is important. Whether it's, again, talking about them. Because at the end of the day, when people stop talking about things, where do they go? And to me, that's what the music has been, but also it's been a weirdly healing aspect of a lot of my shows, where people will come and tell me stories about their parents. And I think a lot of people wouldn't be able to handle that at a certain point, and I've been really blessed with the opportunity to be able to, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be a lot of energy to take in. And when you're talking to a person that's giving you a story like that, like, how do you feel like it's a warm embrace? You're just there to listen, or how do you handle that approach?
Wow, it just depends. These are great questions, by the way.
Thank you.
It just depends, really. I haven't really thought about it. It's kind of just comes naturally, whether or not, depending on how they're coming off. There's people who cry and can't get through a sentence, and you have to be comforting. And there's people who just want to tell you, and you just are there as a soundboard.
And what do you feel like your legacy is when it comes to like the music you're creating and what you envision people saying about you?
I think I've spent my entire life, or my purpose on life is to be a father. I think with the fact that my dad, his number one thing was he always wanted to be a dad. And he always knew he was dying when we were born. I think for me, the one thing that I hope when I'm gone is I don't care if they think I'm a good musician. I don't care if they say I could sing. I care if that someone says that I was a good person and a good father.
And then last, I want to ask you, with everything that's going on, do you feel a pressure right now, like to follow up? What's next for you? Like, what is your goal?
No, I don't. I never thought I'd have one. So the fact that I have one hit, I'm happy. I think honestly, I posted a lot of songs about grief, and that was my music before Ordinary, and now everyone's finding them, and I think that's really special and really means a lot. I think the next project I want to post is going to be how I feel now and attacking other issues, I guess. I don't think I'm going to be writing a lot about grief anymore. I think I did that. So I just hope whatever I write next is, I like it. I love my album. I do. I'm very proud of it. And I hope that I like the next one and I'm not just making music to make music.
That's beautiful. I love to hear that, Alex. Thanks so much for sharing everything.
Thanks for having me.
And now, guys, he's going to perform for us. So give it up, performing Ordinary, Alex Warren, everybody.
Hell yeah.
The angels up in the clouds, until there's no one we found. Some is so wild of the ordinary. You got me kissing the ground of your sanctuary. The angels up in the clouds, until there's no one we found.
Thanks.
One more time for Alex Warren, everybody. And Alex, before you get out of here, we do have just a little bit of a surprise for you to celebrate your Hot 100 #1
Wow.
Ordinary.
Thank you so much. It's f***ing sick as hell. Pardon me, I'm sorry for all the cussing, by the way.
That was so much fun. Make sure you come back next week to count down the chart all again. Running it down for you always, I'm Tetris Kelly for Billboard News. If you want more Billboard, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified on all our latest videos.